This is the Party Poker World Open 5. 48 players have battled it out for a chance to win $250,000 and a championship title. 6 heats have already played out. The winners went straight through to the final table, and the runners-up get a second chance here at this table tonight. So who will take that last spot at the final table of one of the world's most prestigious events?
A new deep structure emphasizing skill has already seen some of the biggest and most talked about names in poker through to the final table, which is nearly complete.
Let's break it off, man. How many jacks and sixes are there in the deck, really? Yes!
Oh my lord!
Oh! Yay! He tried to outplay me. I
You showed him you give up and then you win.
That's right.
Now, it's the best feeling I've had about a hand in ages. Is that sick or what?
Pretty sweet.
Time now for our 6 runners-up to play it out for the last remaining final table seat.
Welcome to the Palm Beach Casino in the heart of London. Tonight, the runners-up have been invited back for a second chance at winning a piece of the $480,000 prize pool. The lineup includes Irish Open champion Neil Channing, ex-footballer turned poker pro Teddy Sheringham, and a mix of online players. They might have come second in their heats, but that makes them all the more determined to take home a championship title.
I'm here to compete. That's what I like doing. I've been a competitor all my life, and I want to win, so I'm determined.
It's kind of annoying that I didn't finish the job off the first time round, and now I've got to work harder to earn my wages. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty disappointed if I don't make the final, but I don't think that's any disrespect to my opponents today. You know, I'm nervous of them, and I give them all the respect. I just, you know, I put quite a bit of pressure on myself to do well in these things, and I was pretty upset when I didn't come through the heat.
Well, it's not grasping at straws, but for the 6 players here tonight, Ian, they missed out their first shot, and here's one more.
Yeah, last chance saloon. Whoever wants it the most, obviously, got to get out there and get it grooving.
Now, the structure's a little different here. You only get 100,000 in chips. That's more traditional from what we used to do in the World Open.
Yeah.
But what is it about, structure or mindset?
More mindset, I fancy, you know, and the one that had come immediately, you know, I'd make favourite straight away is Neil. He knows when it's time to push the button, he's got the edge on the other guys. They might not be that familiar with it, you know. Might take them a bit longer getting into it.
There's Teddy the card rack. He's off and running again. Jesse first down with a pair.
We remember that, don't he? And he had so many chips, had such a great start in his heat, and then the heads up kind of deserted him, didn't it?
Yeah, he got a little bit unlucky. I mean, the guy that he played who's gone through, Jan Veit, he was just super aggressive, wasn't he?
This particular heat, obviously the semi-final, just a little bit different, a little more familiar territory for the 6-seaters. 100,000 in chips, blinds going up every 21 hands. You know,
look at the card rack.
He's unbelievable.
He's unreal, isn't he, Teddy? Well, I don't know this guy's game, actually. I don't know whether he's an aggressive player or...
Well, Daniel Drescher came second to Mike Sexton, and he had the kind of game where, you know, he looked tight, but he made, you know, some of these big re-raise type moves with no hand. He's...
Well, we'll see how easy it is for Teddy to get away from these. He's obviously got to continue.
Very tough, this 100,000 in chips. During this first level, you've got enough to get away from a hand, but only barely.
He needs a club here to keep him interested.
And
No go.
Teddy is a very, very good player. We saw that. He, at this stage, you have to believe he's turning his hand into a bluff. He knows there's a possibility this guy has an ace here, right?
Yeah, I mean, when the 4 comes as well, he could have checked that up. But if the guy's got a weak ace, it does look a bit scary for him, but I can't see him passing.
If Daniel Drescher was watching Teddy Sheringham play, he would think to himself, Teddy doesn't usually double barrel with nothing, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you would, but I say you again.
You just can't. If you
can't pass.
Right.
Yeah, you can't pass.
You could have. He could have folded pre-flop, and now this is it. He's going with it, or he's going home.
I think what might be in his mind, Jesse, is take my time here. He knows he's going to call to 20,000, but he's hoping for a cheap river.
Cool.
You know, that's the plan, how I see it. And now, obviously, that's told Teddy that he's beat.
I think you got this exactly right, Ian.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
He has to call this guy. This strong play from Teddy.
It is really strong. And it's like Sheringham, he's pretty sure where he's at this stage, right?
I'm not so sure. You know, he's seen the guy going through the motions here, and you know, he struggled to put the 20k in. I think that Drescher's only done that to hoping to get a cheap river, and now he's had it stuck right up him, and now he don't know what to do. He looks pretty cool, Teddy, as well, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He absolutely does.
Oh, this looks like a call. Looks like a call.
Call?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, everybody was pretty close on that one. I think Sheringham might have a chip or two left. He did win that first pot.
Yeah.
But you got to take your hat off to him, actually, you know?
You might have like you won the first pot, didn't you?
He was masterful in this World Open in that heat. Bit unlucky, obviously, against Jan Veit, but and that hand, I think just shows that what kind of game he's got.
He played every hand. What do you think he was playing twice?
201,000 Drescher's gonna have. Hello.
You would fold that shack.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking he had ace queen, and I was thinking I'd probably fold that. Wow. I'm tight, bro. I'd have hated it with ace king.
Channing said, "How could you think Teddy's tight? He's played every hand. It's only been 2 though."
So that would have been nice. Ace 3-4 there.
Yeah.
He is a rub-down artist, Channing, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. You know that.
I mean, Teddy's the only other patriot he's got at the table. If Teddy loses here, oh wow.
4,000.
What a rub down. How much is it?
Raised to 12,000.
This is going to be some game.
Aye, Jesse, we could have action here.
And Ian, in this World Open, in the heat stages, you can call with ace king during the first level. You can't really do it here, can you?
No, not with 100,000. There's already 20 in the middle. He's got to pump this up, and this how Drescher will fancy it. Oh, you know, he's got 200,000. How will he go with the tens?
You see Funke putting in about 40 here, or do you see him just shipping the lot?
No, he won't ship the lot, but you would want to be. I'd be wanting to bet about 30,000, I should imagine. 25, 30.
Raised
Oh, this is so sick.
28,000.
28, yeah, right in between the 25 and 30.
This is winner take all.
You know, he could be thinking to himself, you know, I've got 200k. This is quite an easy pass for me here. What did he put in? 7 or 8,000, something like that. Or does he see it as another chance to get another coshel of chips, Jesse?
I think he's put in about 12, so it's 16,000.
He's moved
all in.
He's moved all in and a call.
Wow.
Definitely.
I half sort of expected it.
Really?
Well, you know, it's how you feel. You go one way or the other. He's just doubled up. Why not? You're on a bit of a buzz.
These guys are playing like it's a 10-chip sit and go, but the hands have been out there.
If these tens hold up, Jesse, it could be game over.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
That's marginal, I think. I might, yeah.
Well, for Daniel Drescher, this seat draw could be huge, and for Funk, a chance to take the chip lead. I wonder how he's feeling.
But the turn, it looks like he has a really big hand, doesn't it? I mean,
There's the ace.
Wow. There's only 1-10 in the deck. Teddy Sheringham in. Is Sheringham drawing dead already?
Oh, he needs a spade.
Spade, a jack for a.
Maybe a jack.
I'll take a
Could
jack.
appeal off.
10, the jack, the spade. He's got a lot of outs now, Drescher.
Oh!
There it is.
Nice
Cheers, everyone.
We're gonna lose Teddy Sheringham, and Drescher passes the chips to Funk. He's back where he started.
You boys don't mess around.
Yep. That's the highs and lows, Jesse.
I'll tell you, Patrick Funk now. We're only 3 hands in.
Look at this. Yeah, this could have looked completely different, couldn't it? There could have been 4 players left in with 300,000 up there.
What sort of hand were you putting him on when he called the bet on the turn?
Well, yeah, I thought he might have been on about ace-9, maybe ace-10 at most, really. The ace-jack probably just makes it that he calls, I think. I think if it was ace-9, ace-10, he might have laid it down at an earlier stage. But it's a quick 100,000 chip, so it's going to be quite quick. So I thought once I'd put 2 bets in, then I've got to see it through the third.
It's true, and you're right, it's a bit shorter structure, this one for the runners-up heat. We're sorry to see you go. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
We have 5 players left here after a fast exit from ex-footballer turned poker pro Teddy Sheringham here in the runners-up heat at the Party Poker World Open 5.
If I'd have moved all in, I'm pretty sure I'd have got it.
Sort of a dream scenario here for Neil. They don't talk, but they must listen.
Pass.
I'm going to call.
Call.
They're not watching on 2+2.
This is going to be quite a fascinating game, I think.
Raise to 8,000 total.
Punish the limpers. Punish.
And, Schafer's only problem here, if he's got a problem, is that those sorts of betsy and put you in awkward positions post-flop.
Cool.
But you got to raise the pot.
Yeah, now he's called as well. I mean, he's got out of that so quick, Neil.
He did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's surprising.
Really bad hand. I don't understand that.
Drescher definitely in a mood to play, and he's going to play these. This is very unlucky for Christian Schafer.
I'm always limping with that.
Yeah. Of course.
He's definitely got a bit of a image, this guy, ain't he? When he looks like he's the guy that's got the instructions to push the button, don't he?
Oh yeah. Oh, he's.
I'll do it with this leg.
He looks a little nervous to me. And there's no reason for Drescher not to play this the same way he played the ace-jack before. Just let the man go, or is there a raise here?
Yeah, well, he's got a bad kicker with his jack in case that is what he's up against.
I mean, Schafer knows 100% he's. Well, I guess he could be up against a diamond draw, but.
Check. Check.
Well, now it's check, bet, fold.
Check.
Oh yeah, you like that card if you're Drescher. But you never would have put the guy on a jack anyway, would you?
No, he can put 12 out for value. The only problem is, this guy don't look like he's the sort of guy, the Schafer that's going to take off on a big bluff here. So you can put in like 12,000 value.
14,000.
14. Like he don't look like he's going to repop you, does it? With nothing. But he could quite easily get a call from a jack here.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if that intense gaze is focus or nerves. Is it that he's going through the hand, street by street? Or, oh my God, what am I doing?
Show the bluff.
I can't.
Oh, come on.
I can't show because it's no bluff.
Ace queen?
Better.
No.
Drescher ain't telling now. Definitely the psychological edge back over
She
Schafer.
hasn't mentioned it yet. She said she'd tell you next time.
Sometimes you just have to let the past go.
My mother deleted my friendship with Facebook.
Schafer, now, the last time Channing limped, he raised. The second time Channing's limped, he's raised. For what we've seen of Daniel, he's not passing here.
He can't pass this. You know, a limp and a raise. The raise can be anything. He's got ace queen. I was going to say, this is a big re-raise.
There's a total of 7,000.
I don't like that much. Yeah, he's cut it down a bit.
24.
24,000.
And that is going to get rid of Channing. And I guess, pot over?
Well, it should be. You know, you can't be calling this with ace-8 unless you want to get on the railway and go home.
You're so such a nice
I just set it up for you every time. I do the limb. He thinks he's going to isolate the limb, and you just pick it up.
That's true.
Don't count that hand, boss. Don't count that as one of our 21 hands. If it was darts, it'd be like a team of scorers. Half and half, pen and paper.
Oh, see what I mean, Jesse? The old shakes.
Yeah. I'm remembering now that he did have the shakes in his heat as well, but he. I think it might.
Oh, this ain't the guy that was sitting to my left, is it? In my heat.
It might have been on your left. He definitely there was a you remember now there was a guy who had the shakes.
Yeah, I told him to cut his stacks down.
And I'm really he played very well, very steady, but his hands shook whether he had a good hand or a bad hand. I think it's just it's nerves about being on TV.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Completely understandable.
When I used to play snooker, Jesse, in my 20s, and we was trying to hustle a few quid, there was a guy who used to come in who obviously went to work for a living, and we used to queue up at the door who would get him, and he used to shake like hell. And I used to think, I can't believe how nervous this guy is for a tenner, do you know what I mean? But it was just in him, he shook every time, but he turned out to be such a great player.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did, yeah. His queuing arm used to shake like hell, all over the place.
What? And then he'd pot the ball?
Yeah. As soon as he moved his arm, the shaking stopped.
It was only 4,000, so cheap enough to call with the pair on the river, says Schafer. And Channing, talk about wringing a limp rag. I mean, this guy, water from a stone.
He must be feeling like he's favourite in this heat, Jesse. I know definitely if he wrote a book up, he'd make himself favourite. So he's got to be feeling good. You know, he's got 130,000 here. In second spot, just about.
He will be. Channing he has been so successful, like yourself, and so many times in this format. You always fancy you're going to get down to that final three, or perhaps even the heads up. And then you always have to take your chances from there, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, once if he gets down into the last three, he knows his timing is absolutely spot on in these games, Jesse. He knows exactly when to push the panic button, when to throw all his chips in the middle, and he's had so much success at it. So it's a case of lingering around now. It's like now with these nines, you know, he's only limped. It's a case of lingering around and get to the final three. But he's re-popped this up, which is going to get through.
Hi, Bodo. It's a great play. He's made a great play. He's made a great read.
Yeah.
Limp. Bodo's raised. Channing's re-raised. And now Bodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can only do one thing.
That's one card.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Cheeky monkey trying to steal from me. I noticed there was 4 Germans at the table today because I went to get my seat drawer and there were towels spread out on 4 of the seats. So it looks like they'd been up early to secure their places. The second chance today is always a bit weird. I tend to think that a lot of the players don't really take it very seriously. They kind of think, oh, well, you know, we've got a free extra chance to get through, and they just throw the chips in and don't really care. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be grimly determined. Having said that, I'm not delighted about having a second chance because when you play poker for a living, it's all about your hourly rate and how much you get paid per hour. And now I'm going to have to play 3 times as much poker as everybody else. I have 2 heats and a final if I'm going to get any wages out of this thing, and it's ruining my hourly rate.
Palm Beach Casino in Mayfair, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely great place. I get so excited waking up in the morning knowing I'm coming here, Jesse. It's full of action. You know, we're early on in the day here, but this gaff buzzes.
Raised to 6,000 total.
We are seeing some hands. We're definitely seeing some hands. Funk with the ace king, now the ace queen.
I'm really
Look at this. It's Amanda's dealing, isn't it? That's why.
Normally.
She's the best dealer in London.
Re-raised to 20,000.
And Schafer's got the chips. So, yeah.
Well, he don't mess about, this guy.
All in and a call.
You know, and I'm remembering.
I don't think any of them moved a millimetre then.
I'm remembering now in his heat, Ian, that Funk, he made a couple of re-raises. Once with an ace-8, and you know he suspects people. I think he's very he's suspicious sometimes.
Yeah.
And in his heat, it was usually right, to be honest.
Jack of spades is an interesting card.
I don't feel this one coming.
Neither does Patrick.
Oh.
How about that then?
You're bang out of form.
Looks
And
like
so
it.
is Christian Schafer. That hurts.
That's our second casualty. He's gone.
Wow.
He's gone.
Nice playing.
Nice guy, Christian Schafer. Fantastic in his heat. Very steady. And, well, that was a big pot to get all the money in with, and it does.
And both of them are
It means nothing.
Amanda never disappoints, Jesse.
Patrick Funk up to 240-odd thousand. Look how aggressive he's been.
Yeah. Yeah. 86%.
I think, you know, you look at that V chip. I think every time Patrick's put a chip in the pot, he's put them all in.
You beat Roland with a 7 deuce bluff, I think, and also Barney.
I have to admit,
but I picked up
the outfit that Neil's got on right now, it's about
it doesn't
a
really
1,000,000% classier than that cotton T-shirt.
Someone else must have dressed him. Where's them old orange raggedy things he used to wear?
You know, I've been saying for a while. I mean, you know, you're in a nice casino. Everybody else is dressed up to come in, and he's wearing the same black T-shirt for 8 days straight. He's looking very nice. I didn't know Neil owned a shirt with a collar on it.
Whatever.
Just gonna say about if then Channing and Bodo definitely watch Funk. They should already know that if he starts out raising, you don't want to re-raise him unless you intend to get all the money in. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, they've just seen him move all in as quick as lightning with ace queen. So
Right.
you don't really want to be. Yeah, look at this. You don't really want all that pre-flop nonsense with him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The whole viewing
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Set.
8,000. I like this 8,000.
Is that going to be the best way to get on?
Oh, yes.
What does it look like to Patrick?
It don't really make that much odds, Jesse. He's got ace-9, you know. He's got nothing. So it's quite an easy pass. What difference? It don't matter if Channing's got nothing or he's got the goods. It's a really easy pass for him. If he calls, it's only about ego. There you go. It's easy. He'll be gutted, Neil. He should have, you know, if he checks it, then the other guy bets for sure.
Okay.
Try to be a bit trickier. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. He didn't know that the other guy had such a weak hand. You know, if the guy's got an overpair, he could have quite easily took off there.
We're partway through the runners-up heat here at the Palm Beach Casino, so join us after the break for more action from the Party Poker World's Open 5.
Still hell-bent for leather here at the Palm Beach Casino. See which of these unlucky losers can grasp that straw.
This geezer is a card wreck.
That was Teddy Sheringham's seat, wasn't it?
Did they move around? No, Teddy was over the other side. Whoops.
Wow.
Well,
And so
we know.
he's going to get on. He's
Yeah,
going to,
yeah.
because Funke gets on.
Yeah, yeah. And we said it's going to be these two, didn't we?
And if he does, 100 million miles on that miles
We
an
know.
hour. Right?
We know they're all going in, don't we? He got all in.
$28 total.
Wow.
All in.
All in and a call.
That's the story.
Whoops.
Bound to happen.
28 was a little bit less, I think. Here, very, very
Queen again.
Yeah. I don't.
But he has a good record with the ace queen.
Well, he does, Patrick Funke. On the other hand, if Drescher gets this pot to hold, this will be the biggest chip lead of the day. Nearly
Yep.
half the chips in play.
It's not good news for the other two, whatever happens in this hand. There it is.
Wow. Wow.
There it is.
It's not making Drescher's day. What a great start he had, Daniel Drescher. And then the 10s against the ace-king, that lost half of them. Now the kings against the ace-queen.
Yeah, the hands that he's had, the way it's gone, he's got to feel really down there. But this guy, Funke, I mean,
That's him.
he's got to feel invincible, Jesse, ain't he, at the moment?
What's your offer?
Shattered, shocked, and for Patrick Funke, wow, 397,000.
Yeah, and we know there's only one way for this guy now, and that's up.
Do you think Channing's angle is to see if there's another runners-up heat?
He might want to break and talk to the TD to see if he can squeeze another one somewhere.
Drescher, very unlucky.
Yeah, of course the other guy's so unlucky, but you know, this guy's riding high now. The adrenaline's flowing, and you know he's going to be playing a lot more medium hands in the same spirit.
And the style that Bodo and Neil have to play now to try and chip their way back.
But mind you, he's getting some cards, this guy.
Where's the button?
Just one
Only
big
one
blind.
blind. You managed to knock the guy out when he should have been in the small blind.
Well, we know he's going to raise it.
Well,
Account or
It's about 60.
18.
just going to say that
Neil shouldn't say anything there, you know.
No.
It's about
Okay.
60.
No, he really
62,
shouldn't.
actually.
But saying
Check.
Bodo, he should have raised there because both Bodo and Neil want to play small pots, and Patrick should want to bam them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Check. 4.
Doesn't seem like he can do anything wrong.
I know, you're right. The thing is, though, at least, you know, with these chip stacks, Neil knows exactly what he's got to do here.
What a bingo
this
card.
could, yeah, this could get a bit bigger here.
What is going through your head if you're Bodo? Take the
Well,
free
I'd
card?
rather, I've only got, yeah, take the free card. I've only got a small stack. You don't want to be getting it all in here, but you know, you've got so many more outs now. Take the freebie.
You know, in the back of your mind, as aggressive as Patrick has been playing, you fancy, if you're Bodo and Neil, that if you hang around long enough, you're always going to be favorite when you get the money in. Or no?
Well,
Just hope.
it don't really matter. He hasn't been favourite in 2 pots, has he? He's been behind.
Yeah,
on
but,
one.
well, I just mean, yeah, well. What else?
But he's going to force you into the big pots, ain't he? He's not going to sit there and play small pot poker, heads up. He doesn't give that impression. You know, he is on in this hand. But I think every opportunity like that, he's going to re-raise all in and take the swing at the other guy.
In a heads up, we can speak, and he's not in the hand. What do you think? He don't want to speak.
Well, obviously, he's between. I guess deciding that there's a queen out there. Bodo hasn't really gone to war yet tonight, so there is a very reasonable assumption that he's got a queen here. But I guess Patrick's got so many chips that now Bodo's committed to a river bluff, really.
Okay.
Well, he is, yeah. He'd need to push his whole stack in, I think. And does he want to do that?
I kind of feel like once he's bet the turn,
Oh,
he's
it
committed
goes.
to this.
17.
You know, the thing is, that's the amount you want to bet if you want to call. And he
Right.
don't want to call, does he?
No. That was gutsy.
Has
then.
it?
Very
Yeah,
gutsy.
yeah, very
For
gutsy.
the television, I have to show it.
Come on,
I think.
show it. Bodo, you're my hero. You're my hero.
You with me, Jesse?
not
That,
going
Yeah,
you know.
that's why that's how good he is. I think,
If he raise,
He only had 4 high.
and if he doesn't bet the turn, he doesn't win the pot, and he knows if he bets the turn, he has to chance it all on the river if he misses. So,
Well, he did anyway, didn't he?
yeah.
you? It's very hard, and I have to get a few good hands, otherwise there's no chance against the other tough players. You have to be aggressive. You have to accumulate all the chips, so there's no way in waiting for a good hand. I want to come to the final table because it's a lot of money, and I can be a big name after this tournament if I would win it.
Have you run out of fold equity now?
3
Yeah.
up, 6,000. Who's going to make the biggest adjustment to this level?
Well, this guy here.
60 in red.
A
You
little
know,
more aggressive?
Yeah, he'll pick his spots. We know that it's like a proven formula with him, and that's what I expect, you know, from him. And I still fancy he's not that big a
Raise to
dog to go
16,000.
through here, Jess. You know, especially if he can nick Bodo's chips.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, he's even money then.
Bodo, it's good news. In your quest to come second, everything's looking a lot rosier.
Check.
Check.
Is Funke he's backed off a little bit? Is he? Well, that's an exciting card for the
Yeah, and
fans
a-
at home.
A bad card for both.
The problem with this bet for Channing
19,000.
is it's a big percentage of his stack to go for a draw.
Yeah, but he's got position as well. He can call, and if if he takes a view to turn it into a bluff on the river when he misses, or if he misses, he can, can't he?
Well, unless he's got a read off Funk, who's very intense right now, it looks very much like a queen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can quite easily be a queen, but what I didn't like in the hand was when Funk checked and he immediately looked at Neil. You know, and that wasn't a trap check, was it? It doesn't really matter what Funk's got here, unless he's got.
Well, this is tricky because if Neil says, "Oh, well, he's very weak," then he might try and raise him. But if he does, I don't know if Funk can pass here.
Yeah, of course he can pass.
He can pass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Neil's got enough chips to make him pass.
Well, yeah, of course he has. Yeah, he's got plenty of chips to make him pass. I fancy Neil's just going to flat call this. He's making out that he's got a lot bigger hand than what he's got. In case, has he called? Yeah. In case he wants to decide to bluff it. If this guy checks on the river and Channing misses, he might want to bluff. You see, like now, he's going to check this guy.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
And now he's opened the door for Neil to take the pot.
Well, there's 70,000 in there.
But he knew all this, Neil, when he was, you see? When he was, oh, he's checked it. I can't believe that.
He's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
He's gonna be sick.
I thought that was the idea why he was dallying around with his chips. So as if he does miss, he's setting the guy up for a bluff on the river.
He put him
Look
on.
Look at this fella, he's thinking. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Unless he was genuinely thinking about the big raise on the turn, Neil. Well, that must have been it. Couldn't have been anything else.
Well,
but he ain't lost many chips.
Well,
Jesse, do you know what I mean?
well, that last pot was 70,000.
Yeah.
And Funk, I mean, look at these stats here. His total aggression over the moon, really. He hasn't really played that many pots, considering. He won 11 pots pre-flop. Wow.
Not very good flop, is it, from him?
There we are then, Jesse. Still free-handed. Neil in the middle of these two German guys. Both party poker chaps. This guy's the Funk. He's the one that's qualified online. So he could be in for as little as $5.
Yeah.
And Bodo is in the team, and it looks like these two are going to get it on now.
All in
And call.
and a call.
Not good spot for Bodo. You wouldn't begrudge him a little luck, although Funk has been perfect once the money goes in. We've seen so many of these qualifiers over the history of the World Open. This year, these guys can play poker.
Oh, sure. You know, the qualifier, as it were, now doesn't really mean what it meant a couple of years ago. Jesse, these guys have got fantastic games. They come through monstrous fields to get here. Look at this. Look at this. He's not out. He's not out yet.
Bodo.
He needs an 8 or a jack or a 3.
No 3, no 8.
And that's it. Bodo doubles up.
Great.
Great.
That's exactly how he's feeling.
No, you can afford to start
And
losing on the 5.
That ain't too bad for Neil. I wouldn't, I don't know. In his mind, would he be thinking, get me in there, heads up now. I've got 134,000 versus 460. I don't know. What would you fancy, Jesse?
I think he wouldn't have minded that. Bodo's a pretty scary player. This Bodo's very good. But at the end of the day, you have to say the only reason Bodo's got so much is because of those little grafty pots he won earlier. He could have doubled up there and been back up to 75,000.
Yeah, that's true.
All in. 100.
Pass. All in.
It's 100.
Oh,
well,
he's getting called here. I think I saw 2 aces, Jesse.
No.
Yeah, I think I saw 2. There you go.
No.
Yeah. Oh, don't slow roll him. He don't need that.
And a call.
He slow rolled him, look.
What?
That hurts.
Thanks for the slow roll.
That's for the TV.
They already seen it. You have under the table cameras. You must have noticed that.
Yeah, I thought he had a bit more style than that, the kid, but there you
I
go.
haven't seen the hand before.
Channing needs something. He hasn't got it.
No, that ain't bad, Jesse. He's got the 6 of spades.
3 cards to a straight flush.
4 and 8.
You got too much to worry.
6%.
No, that's him. He's finished.
Good luck.
Sorry.
Out in third, we're heads up, and Channing played well, never really got the cards. He knows this format to a T, and this is what happens. Out in a cooler.
He's absolutely gutted, Jesse. Look. Yeah, and we're here heads up now.
We've lost one of the favourites here for this tournament, Neil Channing, unfortunately. There's a little less room in the structure for the playoff heat to either run into hands and get away from them or make mistakes. Did you feel good about your play here today?
Not massively. I think there's enough play in it, and we busted a couple of people early, so the blinds were still, reasonable. You could still play till we got 3-handed really, and then I got a bit short. I probably slightly misplayed one hand, and I wasn't totally in love with how I played, but I don't know. I guess I didn't really. I had some quite big hands early on, but I didn't get paid on any of them.
Patrick and Bodo playing well out there, do you think?
Yeah, I was impressed with Patrick. I hadn't seen him before, and he got a bit lucky in 1 or 2 spots, but I thought he played well. And I've played Bodo a few times before, and he's quite tricky. So they didn't really, they weren't as bad as some of the so-called big-name pros that play these events. I thought they both played quite well actually. Yeah.
Only one player can go through to the final, and we're heads up here in the runners-up heat as Neil Channing goes home from the Party Poker World's Open 5.
Well, it's heads up now, and all of a sudden the momentum feels like Bodo here. What do you think?
Yeah, well, he's had one hand through the whole heat, and there you go. He's chip leader. He can afford himself a little smile, sit up in his seat, and have a little game of heads up here now, and he's got a ticket into the final if he can just get past the funk factor.
10s. That's Bodo. Action on Patrick, though.
Can you put your card straight, please?
Now, this is where heads-up poker starts to get a little creative. Do you think his king high is good? Is it time to bluff? It's a donk of 12K. And it's sort of the horns of a dilemma here for Bodo, isn't it? I mean, looked like a weak bet at the same time. Funk hasn't been doing much bluffing.
Check.
And so now that the checks come on the turn, how confident is Bodo that he's ahead?
Yeah, very confident. You either, you know yourself here. If you bet you're going to lose your man, you've got position on him. Why don't you see if he wants to have another fire at the river? He don't, so.
With that coordinated a board, though. Well, anyway, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter. The only thing you didn't want to see was, a king, queen, maybe an ace.
This is a big bubble now. Big stakes these guys are playing for. That final table features a $250,000 first prize.
Does the loser here get anything? I don't think you do, Jesse. So it's an enormous 0 to $250,000. Wow, that is a bubble.
It is, and I guess there's a total of something like $480,000 or $500,000 in the prize pool. on the final table. So, you know, you divide that by 7, and that's your equity, really.
Well, Bodo's hit a set of 4s here, but you know the other guy's hand's so bad I can't see him getting any chips out of it. He may bet like 16 into this or something. Looks like more.
Yeah. And
22.
you know, he's stepped. I know he's going to get hammered here, but he's kind of stepped up to bat a little bit. Heads up, Funk, hasn't he? This is the second time he's making a play at a pot with no hand. If you didn't have anything here in your Bodo, you're going to have trouble calling, aren't you?
Raise to 8.
Oh, what's he ever raising for?
Because it does look like a board where the other guy has to be drawing dead, basically.
Yeah, of course. You know, even if the guy had an overpair, he's asking for a bit much for him to move all in there.
He's the kind of guy, Patrick. I think, you know, if you're sitting in a crowded restaurant and he gets a funny look from someone 4 tables away who was actually trying to get the waiter's attention behind him. I mean, he could start a scene. You know what I mean? You know? I mean, this guy on the beer must be scary. No, he seems like a nice guy, but you know, sometimes you just get a feeling about a poker player like he is ready to play a big pot.
Check.
And will Bodo let him have this one?
I'd say 100%.
26.
26. Before you bet 29, now 26.
Yeah.
It's funny old game. See, like, if he picks up on anything like that, you shouldn't be telling the guy. You know what I mean? Keep it to yourself. If he thinks he's got something on him,
Maybe he's just trying to get in his head.
Maybe. We know he was always passing there.
Right. This is the first real hand he's picked up since the heads up started.
20.
All in.
All in.
Well, we got the showdown.
Oh my God.
He would have. I mean, this is way above the range, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough
The
spot.
quick all in?
Yeah. It's a tough spot. Ace Jack.
It would be too crazy if I fold. And I think we are flipping.
I think it looks like a small
Even in
pair.
chips and flipping.
So there is an argument for a fold.
Well, yeah, the way the heads up's been going, he's called it. But the way the heads up's been going, it wouldn't surprise me if he passed.
Dass ich das call, ja, wahrscheinlich. Also, dass ich das überleg. Wahrscheinlich ist ein schneller Call, oder?
As it turns out, Bodo's in unbelievable shape. It's not a race. It's not a flip. It's a domination. And Funk is going to be the runner-up. Is it Bodo at the final table?
It sure looks that way.
He's gotten out of it before, Funk. The cards have been with him tonight. Does he feel a 10?
Not really.
Where's the 10?
Well, he's got a queen now to...
Or a
high
3.
Queen or a 3.
Or
King or
an ace.
It just shows you, Jesse, he's had one hand in the heat, Bodo. He's got it at the right time, the aces, doubled up, got himself involved in the heads up, and had the clash ace-10, ace-jack.
After getting unlucky in your original heat, Bodo has now gone through. Congratulations to the final table. I can see from your face you're very pleased.
Yeah, thank you very much. I had a little bit luck before as I won ace deuce against his, I think it was ace 10 or something. Yeah, and then at the end it was, and setup with ace jack against ace 10. You can do nothing with 30 big blinds.
which is fair enough. Now you're going to be playing in our final table here. Do you know much about the players? Obviously, there's some big names out there, some interesting styles as well.
Yeah, I already played against him in a cash game against Tilly or Lark. Yeah, and it's a tough field, and I hope I can make it really good.
Well, we hope you do very well. Thank you, and congratulations on winning through to the final.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bodo Sbrzesny, and is he walking on water? Is he gliding? He just really showed that if you hang around, good things can happen.
Yeah, that's what we keep saying, Jesse. You know, one hand to get him in this position, you know, heads up, and they played a few pots, bit of cat and mouse, but it was the matchup like you predicted, the ace-10, ace-jack, and he's come out on top. Funk factor, defunct.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, Bodo's going to go to this final table full of confidence, full of steam. And to be fair, he plays as good as any of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's got the game, you know. He's just proved it. He's gone through there on one hand. You know, he's definitely got the game.
When it comes down to that final table, what a great mix now to have Bodo in there with Tilly, with Locke, with Andy Black.
It's going to be such an exciting final, and I can't wait to get my chair up round the edge and watch it.
And when you talk about this deep stack format, we've seen some great things in this tournament, and for the winner here, it could be even better.
So congratulations again to Bodo, who wins the last seat at our final table for the Party Poker World Open 5. Join us next time when the final commences here at the Palm Beach Casino in London. We have a great lineup, and it includes real-life couple Phil Locke and Jennifer Tilly, poker's bad boy Luke Schwartz, and Poker Hall of Fame legend Mike Sexton, all vying for a championship title and $250,000 top prize.